At that time, I OD'd in Beaumont from those Valiums. They were booing me.
What happened when you OD'd?
I didn't OD as a OD, as an OD where I ended up in the hospital. I had 30 10s in 3 days.
Jesus.
So 100 10s, 100 milligrams of Valium in a day when you're 400 pounds and you don't sweat and you don't drink water and you don't eat right and you don't exercise. It's heavy. And I kept pounding them with Jägermeister. I fell asleep on stage the one night, laid on the floor. You know, who pays to see that?
Right.
Who would pay to see that junk, you know?
Does anybody ever hit you up now and be like, I was actually at that show?
About a year ago, somebody heard the story on the podcast, and they said it was very disturbing. That they had gone to see somebody who had just been in an Adam Sandler movie. And they went to see somebody who was just... I'll never forget being in Vegas with Rogan and doing the 10 o'clock show and walking through the thing and seeing Artie Lange about to go on stage. And I did not know who he was. I knew he was on Stern, and I knew he was a mess. But I remember looking at him, not saying anything, not that I was starstruck. I just didn't have the right to go up to him. It was a feature act, whatever. Sure. But I kind of felt bad because I knew exactly what he was going through. And the whole crew he was with. It's not like when I used to go on the road with Chris McGuire, Rogan, and those guys don't get high. So you really couldn't catch it. It really wasn't as disgusting and despicable as what I had saw that night. And I love Artie Lange. I love what he's doing on Crashing right now.
Yeah, me too.
It was him, the Reverend Levy.
Yep.
And you could tell, I don't know if Levy did Blow. I think Levy's in the program. But fucking, he was a mess. So I actually went to the door, and the guy goes, you worked with Rogan tonight. Go in if you want. And I walked in. Rogan went to shoot pool or something, and I sat up there the one night and watched Artie Lange. And I felt really bad for me.
For you?
Because that's what I was going to become. He was on stage, high as fuck, talking just nonsense. It was not worth the $55. I would have demanded my money back. But those people in the audience were just as fucked up. And it had become, I don't want to go to rehab. I said, no. What was her name?
Amy Winehouse?
Right, yeah.
It had become one of those situations. She was selling out shows just for people to go see how fucked up she could get on stage.
I mean, that's Charlie Sheen had that too. Remember when Charlie Sheen was like, I'm going to go on a world tour and let everybody look at what a dumb fuck I am?
Yeah, but he did it 2 fucking times. I'm talking about... Artie Lange was, and I've seen people do it. I mean, look what happened. Towards the end, people were paying to see Rehab Chick just to see the debacle. And it was the same thing with Artie Lange. And you know who else was doing that way before Artie Lange? If you read his book and you hear the stories, Mr. Sam Kinison. Before he went Deep Hill, if you paid for one of those tickets, you caught his openers. And even his openers were on fire. But he would come out, and it was a 50-50. He might talk, he might do great, or he might just go up there and take questions. And he did get booed. One New Year's in Vegas, he did get booed. I got that book at the house. My brother, Sam.
Yeah.
It's a good book. It's a very good fucking book. And somebody gave it to me. I had read it in Seattle. And and I remember being at the store and going, listen, man, not that I'm Sam Kinison, but I'm going to end up the same fucking way as those guys,
There's nothing...
I had no other direction to go. Let's be honest. I was one of those guys that went to the store 30% to do a set that he didn't care about. And 80% was because the connection was there. And I could front. I could get 3 for 2. I could get 4 for 2. I could do 1,000 things there. So how fucking sad is that my first 10 years here were coke-laden, and I still worked and booked movies and did movies. Can you imagine?
You're fortunate.
If I was sober, the things I could have done in television and film. That Longest Yard, I stayed sober on that for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And not even, I'm lying. I stayed sober for 2 weeks in the beginning, and I went off the deep end. Then I found where I could get it in Santa Fe, and that was the end of that. And I'll never forget flying up here with that per diem money in my pocket, burning a hole in my pocket, because my wife wouldn't know about it.
Right.
That was cash they give you. I'll never forget getting off that plane and going straight to that fucking dealer's house and telling them, cut me 3.5 of nothing but fucking rock. I'm going home to blast off. Fuck football. I mean, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
crazy. I was snorting till 4. I would get in my car and drive to Redondo Beach to shoot The Longest Yard.
What does it take to recover from 4 or 5 days of just going balls to the wall?
3 days of fucking sleeping.
Yeah, you're done for a while. Party's over, Rover. You know, if you got a 4 or 5 day bender like that, I mean, I remember I had a 2 or 3 day bender. You know, about maybe 10 years ago. I remember the girl I was living with. But, you know, booze blow, booze blow, booze blow, booze blow. And then went to sleep on Sunday night and woke up about 5.
No.
When I did the 30 things, I started on Thursday, and I finished them Sunday morning, and I basically slept from Sunday to Wednesday. Getting up to puke, eat a little soup, and go right back to bed. Joints were hurting, tendons were hurting. You know, there's no vitamins.
Swallowing.
Yeah,
hurts.
there's no vitamins coming into your body. It's a horrible, horrible thing. When I was 21, I was pulling those 2-nighters too. I remember being in Miami one night, up for 3 nights by myself in a hotel. 3 nights, sad. I'm gonna write about it. I'm getting to that chapter. Sad. Waiting for a guy to come that gave me a batch of Coke, and I had to pay him. And I got down there, and thank God I had extra money. I checked myself into a hotel, and I asked some guy for Coke, and he ended up giving me he was like, don't worry about it. He just actually went in with a scoop. This is 1984 cocaine, and I went back. It was in Miami. It was a hotel.
84 Miami. Cocaine.
84
that had
Miami.
That had to be actually cocaine.
No, you had no fucking idea. And I went into this hotel room, and I basically drank water, all the alcohol in the refrigerator, did not let the maid in, and just went straight for 3 days. From Friday to Monday. I still remember Monday morning. I still could close my eyes and visualize the sun coming through the curtains and how bad I felt. I know when I was doing blow and I had pee in the bathroom, I wouldn't look at myself in the mirror as I was walking out of there. It's not good. It's not good to look into the mouth of fucking Satan and go, Jesus Christ, what am I doing with my life? You don't even want to believe it.
Yeah.
And we're very lucky, Jayson Thibault. We're lucky that you've been doing this for 26 months. Has your life really changed?
Sometimes.
How has it changed?
Oh, how has it changed? That's a good question. I mean, accountability, for one. You know, it's just like you said, you'd fuck off so much. Just the easiest of things. Hey, man, come, you owe me $50. Come meet me here. We'll have lunch. I'll give you some excuse the next day why I didn't show up. I mean, I might even have the money on me and just be like, I just don't have fucking time, you know? You get a lot of free time. You get a lot of, you said it best when you're like, all the time in my head, all the planning, you know? You free up so much time not having that anchor. It's an anchor. It's an anchor. Is what it is. It's an anchor. And to not have to be like, oh man, how am I going to get it tonight? How am I getting fucked up tonight? Who's working where can I go and fucking pretend like I'm supposed to be there? You know, that freedom to do whatever the fuck.
I could tell you all the good things that have happened since I stopped doing it. Just me getting married, just me being a good husband. I didn't expect to be a fucking father. I thought that nerve cell was cut, but I guess whoever controls people getting clean gave me that as a fucking reward to look at, just because there's no way in my earth.
And a motivating factor too. I mean, anytime you're even kind of like, hey man, I got it.
There's no way in my earth that I could ever put anything in my nose again. You know, like I said, I don't even get high on most of the stuff I do because my tolerance is of a fucking mule, but nah, there's not much I want to do. I brush. Listen, we do liquid acid in this podcast. I did like 3 drops to one night. I was high for like 3 hours. I remember when you did 3 drops, you'd be high for 22 fucking hours.
Duncan Trussell and I was telling this on the podcast with Tate the other day, we used to sell liquid acid.
Here in town?
Here in town. The day after I met Duncan Trussell, the next day, we started selling acid together. I knew Duncan for about 12 hours. And he's like, oh, I heard you got a connection to get acid, buddy. I go, I got a guy that can hook it up. He's like, we should get a bunch. Liquid acid, Visine bottle. Used to keep it in the fucking, medicine cabinet. One was a Visine bottle. The other one was also a Visine bottle that just said "not Visine" on it, so no one fucking accidentally do that fucking. And we used to dose people up. It was just one hit, 2 hits. You're fucking high for 8 hours. Duncan and I built up such a tolerance that we would just go drop in each eye, bong, bank. Not even go to just circumvent the whole digestive system. If you're selling acid,
oh yeah, you're eating acid.
Everybody does acid once a month. You're doing it every single other day with people because you're.
I was telling Lee, I did acid for 3 weeks in a row to the point where the next day I would be stuttering. Like you could feel it. Like the next day, I remember doing angel dust. That the next day you could feel it.
I did 100 hits in one summer in 3 months
of acid. Yeah, that you could feel. You'll feel that for a while.